library undercuts everything that we're working towards with a single statewide card. So I would encourage you to let Stephen, nodding his head, okay, or Cheryl, or me know if you would be willing to have Albany County be on your pickup list to help your university students in there.
That would be nice.
Wonderful.
Marci.
I think that is good. Marilyn.
I had a question about the authentication and the patron having multiple cards. What about multiple county cards?
This has been brought up too. You know what? I have quite a few patrons that have 2 county cards. You want your numbers to be accurate, but there is no rule that says they have to have only that. They can only have that one card. It does say that you want to have only one, you don't want duplicates in there, but let's say I've got Johnson County patrons that will not give up their shared card. I'm not going to force them to. If they want to use it, that's great.
The problem comes if there are fines or if they have overdue books in one place, then you don't know about it in the other.
Well, yeah, before you give them a card, actually that's a local policy too. Instead of dictating the local policy to say, we need to double check this, or is there a reason why they're coming to us and not the other one? Maybe they work there, maybe they need our card instead because they no longer live there. There's no clear-cut answer to that, Marilyn. Yes.
Our policy is no duplicate cards. We have college cards and we have their county cards. But we've run into problems. Contentious divorces leave kids left just hanging out there. And so what we do for the youngsters is we have mom and the kids come in one time. She does a card and she signs for it. And then dad can come in and he has the kids and do another card. And we do have youngsters
Right.
that do that.
And yes.
Those are the only ones that we consciously give that to because we run into people that, because we've got libraries all over, they'll come in, oh, well, I have a card over here, well, yeah, they owe us $43 in the card.
Right.
But that, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's not a perfect world to make it clean cut. It's not, and especially probably for Rosecrans living across county lines. With our boom that's going on with Gillette and us, we have a lot of parents living in 2 different places. And yeah, you do what you can to get them a card to get them the item. Is my belief in it.
Those youngsters.
Yep. Why make them suffer for something that they don't have any control over? I guess that's how I look at it, and that's my only view on that. I've been old. Anything else on that? It is kind of wonky. There's no clear-cut road. The last part was underused items and workflows. Mark created this great tech note called The Life Cycle of a Book, which included email, that's the lines in the wrong place, email reminders, hold notices, or even overdue notices via email. PayPal's an option. Now, I haven't looked into what PayPal actually charges per thing, but it's an option that you can add to iBistro. I didn't know that. I thought that was kind of cool. Bills processing, using long overdue processing, things like that. Maintenance reports, circulation reports. The tech note is quite detailed, and it has a lot of information in it, and it really is wonderful that to say, oh, we should be actually doing this. I didn't know about, clearing out some of the old hold reports. Didn't dawn on me, but it made sense afterwards. It also tells you about bibliographic reports for missing, lost, discard, and routine maintenance that the WYLD office does on an ongoing basis without it just happens. We talked about barred patrons. And basically the wild card policy does say that you will do it within your utmost to make sure that you don't duplicate a card if they are having outstanding items somewhere else, that you can get those items or the monies for that other library before you issue them a card. That is stated. As for barred. Barred is something physical. That means you actually put that status on a patron. So you're the one to take it off. Or you contact that library and say, okay, what's going on with this? Did this just get missed? Can we give this patron a card? Can we? What's going on? Contact with that library is good too. When you do an overlay, is it required that you change the barcode? It's not a requirement to change the barcode, but we highly recommend that you have to change those other areas in that record. And you probably do want to give them your own card, but you don't have to. Okay? Anything I missed? It's kind of a brief, it's kind of an overshot, and it took longer than I thought it was going to. Actually, I have more information than that.
Do people use the email notices?
I'm sorry?
Do people use the email notices very much?
Actually, not where they should be, but a lot of them are using them.
Because with my high school going one-to-one with each kid having their own computer and an email system set up through school, I was kind of wondering how that worked. It would be way better than printing the notices for them.
Exactly.
It worked well.
I think that probably one of the reasons why it's not used a little bit more is maybe there's some rural areas that are not, their patrons don't have access as often or have that sort of thing, but as we're growing right now, that's probably something that's up and coming. I noticed the other day, I went in on, what was it, the holiday weekend, Memorial Day weekend, I went in into the book drops. And I accidentally pulled up the wrong list of overdues, and I pulled up the one that had the email notices, and I was floored that we emailed out 120 notices that day, and I only printed off 30. Now, granted, that was a long weekend and whatever, but that was amazing. And so I was glad to see that that was happening for our email notices. Occasionally get them wrong. We got one that was sent to Sweden accidentally. The great patron gave us the wrong email address or whatever, or purposely gave us, we haven't figured that out yet. The items haven't come back yet, but we got a really nice message from a lady in Sweden saying, got the wrong person.
Well, my daughter has several emails, so she, it's not very reliable.
Well, the email
That's up to the patron, I guess, to that part of it, but it's been successful, I think.
And then
Especially the early notification, if you're using that 2-day notification, they absolutely love. Exactly. Susan, sorry.
That's what I was going to say, the early notifications.
Totally. Okay, the end of this presentation was some URL information, just basically to the WYLD server. But I'm going to take you live here. And if you don't know where the committee pages are, under the WYLD network, under the network page, and in the middle it says committees. And from there on out, it has all of the committees and the patron database committee and all of the reports that we did there and information to that. Okay? All right. Unless you guys have questions, you're free early.
Is the survey up there?
Well, I see that it doesn't look like it is there. It is part of the original recommendation for the October 2007 report. If we'll bring it up here.
You don't have to do anything with that report.
It's at the tail end of that report,
You have another report that has your...
along with the results from the survey too.
And there's
It'll have the questions and then it'll say so many people responded, so many, and give you the answers, and then how many skipped it.